And welcome back to The Average White Guys. My name's Alex Haynes, one of the owners of A Squared. We're a marketing consulting firm that helps turn those likes into dollar bills. And ladies and gentlemen, I am sad to say that he's not there with you because he's here with me. That's right. I have the one and only Justin Schouten. I'm super excited to have him with me tonight because he always brings his unique knowledge to the table. We always walk away learning a little bit something every time. You should be sad he's not in the room with you because he's an amazing person. Let me introduce you to Justin Schouten of LOW.
Good evening, everybody. This is Justin with LW Properties and Community Real Estate Services. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
And thank you for joining me here as well. I love hanging out with you talking. To our audience, we do actually leave this room. I swear. We don't live on YouTube. Just in case you were wondering, we've had some questions.
Well, I somewhat live in this building.
Well, that's true. You work here, so
yes.
Yeah. But what are we talking about tonight?
Broken entertainment.
Ooh, that sounds spicy. Let's get into this. I'm so excited.
So what brought this up was the fact of we were talking about entertainment, some of the things that's going on with Netflix trying to buy Paramount, I think is what it is. Is that correct?
So Warner Brothers there are two companies fighting over Warner Brothers.
Oh, okay.
And Netflix is trying to buy it. Paramount's trying to buy it. There's kind of a fight. Congress got involved. And then we talked about streaming and movie theaters and Hollywood and
I wasn't as aware of this as much what was going on. And we're not going to get into the whole thing of what's going on with the purchasing so much, but the question that we could, but the question that came up was more of, you guys asked me, it's like, when's the last time I went to the movies? And you guys both laughed when I said it was to watch The Eternals.
Yeah.
Which was, I think, 3 or 4 years ago.
Like 6.
No
plus.
way.
Yeah. Quinn was telling us, our producer, it was right before COVID.
But the reason I remember is what's the best reason to actually go to the movies more than the actual movie?
Popcorn.
There it is.
And to be fair, I love entertainment, and I used to be a big movie guy. Like, I used to go to the movie theaters and watch movies over TVs. I used to love the movie experience. I'd go even by myself because I have no one in my life other than my friends. I don't have a significant other. Please, if you know somebody. No, I'm just kidding. I would go out by myself and watch movies. I'd go to the theater by myself and get the popcorn and have that experience. And I used to love it. Well, in the last couple of years, I got away from it for many, many reasons. I wasn't really excited about a lot of the stuff that was coming out. It was getting really expensive to go week in, week out. I could stay at home and watch it on Netflix. I could watch it on HBO Max. I could stream it from my house. And I got comfortable, especially with storytelling, getting more into TV series because there was so much more content to consume.
Mm-hmm.
And I could go back to older stuff I liked, and I could get that dopamine effect I like and be happy with what I'm watching and not pay $15-20 to maybe like a movie.
But I think where I look back at it, because I'm going to go with what my favorite movie of all time is. Mm-hmm. And yes, I'm dating myself here, but it's The Matrix.
Okay.
And I still remember in the movies, just the sound that comes around and just, you cannot get that. You used to not be able to get that at home.
Used to not. Now you can.
Yeah, now you can get sound bars, you can get there, I had a friend, back in those days where his dad was up on all the latest entertainment, I'm really dating myself here, like the 5-disc CD player that would come out. I mean, he was the first one to have it. That would be, $1,000. And then 2 years later, it was worth $200.
Yeah.
And so he would have all of the
newest
and latest, and you would get the surround that way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only way you used to be able to get it. It was in the movies, or you have that one friend that could do that.
Yeah.
Now you can get the surround system for almost $150. It's so inexpensive.
You can get a sound bar that basically mimics it for like $100.
Yeah.
And I didn't believe it until I sat down and they did something. I went, oh, well, that's depressing. Because it used to be, like you said, it used to be this really cool experience. And now it's like, well, technology's come a long way, so it's cool.
Yeah. Because you'd go to the movies because you could hear the Matrix in the back.
You could hear guns from the God speaker
behind you. Yes.
Yeah. That was.
So I think that's what's. I don't want to say it. Yeah, it's ruined some of the experience now because it's not as thrilling to go to the movies, in my opinion.
So one of the things though I do like now. So I love competition because competition breeds unique solutions. And one of the cool solutions that I recently got into. For about a year, me and a couple of friends, we all invested for like $20 a month. We got the Regal Pass. And so every month we could see unlimited movies. And so every weekend we went and saw a movie, and it didn't matter what was out there because it cost us absolutely nothing other than the popcorn, and we were getting points. So every time we saw a movie, we were getting points. So I was getting free upgrades and spending $2 or $3 and getting a large instead of, $15 to get a large. So we started getting back to enjoying the experience of going to the theater. And we were talking about this amongst ourselves because we went and saw something and it was okay. But I was marveling at the fact that I went and saw it and I didn't care if it was good or bad because it didn't cost me anything extra. And I was much more likely to give it a shot than not. And there was one that we didn't think we were going to like that we actually turned out to be one of our favorites. It was a horror film. We actually watched it probably 3 times now. We saw it in the theater once. Our friend saw it like 2 more times because she took some friends with her to go see it because she really liked it. And then we looked up the first movie because we saw the second one in the theater. So we went and saw the first one on, pay-per-view. We bought it, rented it because of how good the second one was. It was just one of those things. Like
you got to say what it is now.
It was Megan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we really, really enjoyed it. It was a fun, just stupid action horror film. And it reminded me of some of the Chucky stuff. It was nostalgia, but fun, right? And there were people dying, and that's great. I do not promote violence. I 100% do. It is a solution, but don't tell anyone about that. So it was one of those random things that we took a chance and ended up falling in love with a franchise we didn't know anything about that I definitely would not have spent the money if I didn't have this pass. So like, I think that's cool. And I think that's how they're competing. But without that, am I going to the theater?
Expensive.
Yeah, it's not cheap, especially if you got a family.
Like I said, the only thing that's great, I think, about going to theaters that you just cannot replicate at home is the popcorn.
So we do because I'm so sorry. I bought my best friend and our producer an actual popcorn maker that does
the air ones or
no with oil. It's an actual popcorn maker. Like
okay, well that's a little different.
Yeah, so
you're using the unhealthy stuff that goes with it, all 100%. The butter.
I bought all the oils and all the salts. We have a problem. We love that stuff. And like when we hang out, and I'll be like, can we have popcorn? He'll laugh and go, yeah, I'll go make some. But yeah, you can. But you like we said, you have to go buy the right stuff and you have to do some research. Yeah, I have a problem. I love that. Yeah. That's like one of my guilty pleasures is the popcorn.
But most people are not going to go to that extreme to get the popcorn. So there you go.
No.
But even if you do that, so you're going with a family, say it's 2 or 3, or even if it's a friend, and I mean, a family is going to cost you almost $125 or something like that, right? By the time you're done.
Dear God, yes, you're right. Now that I'm thinking about it, because like tickets are $10-15.
You got to get the popcorn.
$18 a ticket. And then, of course, your kids are going to want a popcorn. And last time I checked, do kids like to share still?
Well, yeah, but they have the little boxes that you can get there, and then you can put it all into there. So there's ways. There's of course, cheats.
One's going to want nachos because they don't like popcorn now, right? Or one's going to want candy because
hot dog, candies, yes,
$15 hot dog. Yeah. And the sodas start at like $5 for a thimble.
I was going to say $5. Yes.
Like
that's for the extra small, the kids.
Yes. It's a thimble. It's this big for like $5. It can get really expensive. Like we use the points and get the upgrade. So that's the only way we can afford to do it. But yeah, you're right. It can be $125. That's an expensive 2-hour movie.
Yeah. And then the other thing that we were talking about as to why people are not going to the movies is you're not really getting the experience of a story as much as I think you can get with the streaming nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Because one of the things, if you saw Tom Cruise was the worst person to play Reacher. But there's the book series. It's called Reacher.
Yeah.
Love them. I've read.
Watched the TV series?
I read about the first 5 books. I know there's like 30 in the whole series, if not more. I did see the 2 movies with Tom Cruise, but yes, I've seen the 3 now seasons of Reacher on Amazon.
And
Prime.
And what do you?
I love them.
You love them way better, right?
Yes. Yeah, so the character is perfect for it, Alan Richardson, but it gives the storyline. I mean, in there, I think an hour and 15 minutes for each episode, and I mean that would be almost like
a whole movie.
That's almost like 3 or 4 episodes or seasons, or 1, 2, and 3 if you went to the movies,
right? Easily,
and you're waiting 3 years.
Yeah. They made this when I was 18 and now I'm 85. This is the second part. Yeah. I mean, and I get that because there's a whole thing about how you want to release movies and make them and entertainment. And I disagree with how some of that's being done because I like to entertain people.
But so that's where I think, like we were talking about, the streaming, the Netflix, those type of things have
The
come
binge
in.
watching,
Yes,
right?
have come in and somewhat ruin that the movie experience because you just can't get in depth with it like you used to, or
Yeah.
like you can now.
Yeah, and there's man, it's especially on, and I feel bad because I want new stuff being developed, but I'm also so terrified of going to see something new because how expensive it is.
Mhm.
When we had that pass, we almost watched everything. I didn't care who was in it. I didn't care the rating. I just was like, well, it's there. I want to use this pass, get the most bang out of my buck. Let's go check out this movie. Doesn't cost us anything. It might be good. And if it's not good, we can just leave because
When was the last time you went to the movies?
about 6 months ago when the pass expired.
Okay. But before that, you were going for about the year through the last year.
Before that, the last time I saw something in the theater was, hold on,
I was,
I'm gonna say 3 probably years ago.
oh, okay.
Was it?
So
No,
my
maybe we saw
question
something-
now is,
Oh no, I saw Spy Family in the theaters before we had the pass. That was a lot of fun. That was a year ago, 6 months ago, year and a half. I don't know what time is. I have no concept. Time is a construct that doesn't exist.
well, it's either you hated it as, for those that could go back the 20 years,
Yeah.
you hated it and you loved it. You would stand in line for a movie for like an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, I remember that. When I was a kid, there were some really like
I remember seeing the
Matrix was
Titanic,
one of 'em.
Matrix. Yeah. I mean, you're standing in line for like an hour and a half and trying to get a seat, and you get the shittiest seat up at the front where you're like staring up at it so bad. And it just,
huge fan of
but
the
it's still fun.
Jurassic- Yeah, like the Jurassic Parks when they came out, that
Yeah.
was my childhood. That was a big, like I loved that experience because bigger than life, big fan of IMAX. Like my first IMAX experience was like, they make that screen that big. Like,
Yeah.
why aren't all movies on this screen? Because this is amazing.
But it also sucked.
Yeah, also 100%. You definitely had
Who
a
wants to
cricket
stand in line for an hour and a half? Yeah.
right? I think my dad loved it because he always fell asleep and he had a nap and we were quiet. So like I think that's what my dad was like. This
It was like an hour and a half worth of a babysitter.
Yeah, pretty
That was
much.
worth the,
Yeah.
yes. That's kind of funny.
We always laugh because
I still remember the first movie I fell asleep in.
yeah. But no, he would actually also be a fan of us going to the movie. We did that. We'd actually go on Christmas. Because
They always had new releases for the big
not only
hits,
that,
right?
but almost no one went out because everyone's at home. So he'd pick the most random times to go to the movies because he knew everyone else would be out doing other things, like Super Bowl. We'd go see a movie during Super Bowl because everyone else out is at a bar or at a restaurant, watching the game, and I'm like, I'm gonna go see a movie.
Have you ever been to the ones where they have the recliners and the wine and the nice dinners?
I recently did one of those where they deliver the food to you,
Mhm.
and it's like high end food, and I was like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Do you have popcorn? Like, yes, we have popcorn with all these flavors. It's like
It's just-
salt. No, we don't have normal. You don't have plain popcorn. No, but we do have these like all these other
Yeah.
flavors. I'm like,
No, this is not the experience. Yeah.
I have a problem right now. But yeah, it was really, you could get like a drink from the bar. It was a whole bar and restaurant experience. And I was like, this is different.
I don't think it worked that well. I don't think it brought in what they were hoping for. I don't see many of them around anymore.
No, I think there's one in Sac. There used to be a lot more. It was a big thing for a hot second. Like they thought that was going to like revolutionize everything.
More of date night.
Yeah. And I think it's hard to eat food in the dark.
Yeah.
I think
There's-
probably no
there
one
is
thought
that,
about
yes.
that. Especially like also how the seats sitted. Like if you get a hamburger and you're in a recliner, it is going to end up on you.
It's like the old Wendy's commercial.
Yeah, it's just
Doesn't get all over the place. It doesn't belong on your face.
right. And I kind of understand.
Sorry, that was Carl's Jr.
Is that Carl's
Somebody
Jr.?
was going to correct us in the
Yeah.
comments. So I was just like,
That
no,
was
that was
Carl's.
Carl's Jr. Yes.
So I think like there's so many things wrong, like
Yes.
practically with this that no one really thought about. Also, I'm not a fan of some guy trying to not walk in front of me to get to someone who has in the middle of the movie decided they want a burger.
Yeah.
And so they're pushing a button and someone's walking now trying to like army crawl past you, but like half squatting, duck walking, because you're like, what is the hell is
It's always
happening?
awkward enough anyways, just if you have to
Right.
go to the bathroom in front of somebody, you know,
Right.
like to walk out the door just to go.
And you're kind of waiting for this guy to trip and like fall and possibly break something. So you're not sure if you want to watch the movie, you want to watch this disaster about to happen. You're like,
Which one's better?
well, can I push
Depends
you?
on how boring the movie is,
Depends how
right?
boring the movie is. Yeah. And I'll just be honest, the cost is significantly more expensive. So I found the tickets were more expensive. And then we ordered something and I was like, this is a $30-$40 burger. I
It's
don't
convenience.
It's convenient, not convenient to my wallet. But I mean, I think if you want that high end movie, it's a fun thing to do once.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it every weekend.
But I think this is part of the reason why the entertainment is the movies are changed directions.
Yeah. Yeah, I think. Well, and we got into this discussion because we were talking about Warner Brothers and the buyout, and so the concern, really quick, while we're talking about this, is Netflix wanted to buy it, and Netflix was talking about actually limiting how long it would be in the theaters, and theaters only make money from people showing up, and they wanted to cut that time down, which means there's less time for theaters to actually make money because not everyone wants to go in the first 30 days, right? Some people wait on purpose not to avoid the crowds, right?
Yeah.
And so there's theaters run things like you have the hottest on the most screens, but then you have it tail off and you can still make money off of it. And so by their proposal, a lot of theaters were basically saying, if this happens, well, a lot of us are going to go out of business because this is built to put us out of business.
Well, because isn't like if you Star Wars movies, don't they have to almost be there for like 3 months minimum, if not longer?
So most of the money is made in the first weekend.
Correct. I'm just saying, but the amount the theater has to actually play it is almost like 3 months.
Yeah,
right?
2 to 3 months is optimal.
I didn't know that for a while. I
Yeah,
don't know if
they
people know that
make
they
their money
negotiate
off
those things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so they want a 90-day window, which is 3 months, but they only want 90 or less. They were talking about like a 60-day window or 30-day window, and that would be devastating for the business model. And so from that aspect, there was concerns about, well, you're talking about potentially an entire industry getting killed because of this. We're talking about people's jobs. Either way, people are going to lose their jobs. Happens when someone else buys a company. They're going to look at it and go,
yeah,
we're going to make this profitable. Someone's going to lose their job. There's a lot that goes into it affects Hollywood, and Hollywood is entertainment, and how that landscape could change potentially for the better, potentially for the worse, depending on what side you're on. Now, I am a big fan of streaming. I have anime. I don't think I have the Disney Hulu one, but I have pretty much all the other ones. Netflix, I do actually have that. I have
Paramount,
Peacock, and Paramount, and I have HBO Max, which I guess I won't have for long because it might actually be Paramount or Netflix here soon. One of them's going to have it, right? So we'll see how that all shakes out. But I think I have pretty much all of them, and I enjoy them. And I watch them. I kind of flip to them, and I'll do one for a couple months and flip to the next one and do one for a couple months, and that's how I get new content. But
so one of the things that you and Alex, our producer, brought up was the fact of that part of the reason people are not wanting to go to the movies is because more are liking the older stuff, the reruns, the older content, I guess is the best way to say it.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of research where they're worried. And this goes back to that conversation we had. Like, we're not sure we want to take a chance and spend the money on something we may not like. We both know there's a lot. We don't talk about it in the show, but we know the world is steeped in politics right now. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of frustration with current movies being made. And this is the wording everyone groans at, for modern audiences. When someone uses the word modern audiences, anyone who ever liked the show groans because it basically saying, hey, we made a change to fix something that we think is broken. And everyone goes, but we like the old thing.
We don't think
want
it's
that.
broken. Yes.
And then the movie flops and fails and loses millions and millions of dollars.
And they wonder why.
Right? And so people are just now avoiding that because there's a broken trust. And so they're going back and going, hey, I do like old Star Trek. Let me just watch the old Star Trek. Why would I watch this new stuff? It's not what I want. It's not my Star Trek. It's not my Star Wars. It's your Star Wars.
Somebody else's rendition.
Right. And that's kind of the problem people are facing. And we've talked about the whole dopamine thing. I talk about brains and how we find things that give us dopamine hits, and nostalgia is a big one. And that's how people will get that fix of watching something they know they're gonna like. They're gonna go to that and watch it, and they know exactly what it is. It's familiar, it's fun, it's safe.
Which is funny because I'm the opposite of that one.
Yeah.
I do not like watching the old stuff. And my wife and I go back and forth on that one. Cause like come Christmas time, there's like only 3 movies that I like to watch that are the old ones.
Mhm.
But like A Wonderful Life, I know I'm sorry, we may lose a couple of people on this one, but I cannot stand The Wonderful Life. I know it is one of the best Christmas movies of all time. I'm not going to argue with
George.
that. Yes. I love the concept of it. Maybe if I watch it every 10 years, I'm good. But I'm like, I just like to watch my shows in color for one.
Oh, okay.
There's that. But to me, I just like to watch the newer stuff that comes out. I think it's just more entertaining. But that's just I may be in the minority there.
I don't.
Evidently I am, but that's what you're saying, that majority of them.
I don't think I think a lot more people are choosing to watch older stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean people aren't watching new stuff, because we know new stuff is getting made and we can see top 10 streaming. Like, there's still a lot of people who will check out things and watch things. And it's definitely a group of people who want new content.
And I know like I say younger generation for the best way for me to say that, but like my daughter who's 20, and that's why I'm saying younger generation, right? She loves Friends. I mean, since she was 15 years old.
Yeah.
She's watched it the whole season. I mean, the whole show 3 times in a row.
Yeah, I've done that too.
So, I mean,
and that's not new.
No, right? It's definitely not new anymore.
It might come back apparently. So who knows?
Don't.
So I think that's the thing is like, if you look at what's being produced right now, everyone's trying to cash in on nostalgia. The 80s are coming back, as they joked. Like He-Man, there's a new movie, the He-Man movie's coming, right? You can't get more 80s than He-Man. Yeah. The only other way to get more 80s is maybe Thundercats, or they did G.I. Joe. They just failed at it.
Aren't they doing Thundercats too?
I think so.
Yes.
I
think I saw the commercials.
Scared and terrified, and I hope they do it well. I'm not gonna talk about He-Man.
So I think that's why we're seeing entertainment industry is, I mean, that's not something I would want to get into business with these days. It's
and we
I know you somewhat dabble in that, right?
We want to get into storytelling, and I'm going to say something somewhat controversial. I believe you should focus on telling good stories, period. Just tell fun stories, because you're here to entertain and give people a good time. A lot of people don't know this, but theaters became huge during World War I and World War II. For a moment, people could forget about their worries. They could go somewhere that was safe, and they, for 5 cents or nickel or 10 cents at the time, I think World War I, they could watch a show that made people laugh. Three Stooges was really big. Marco Grouch was huge. You had Shirley Temple. Like, these were like huge because people needed to get away and distracted from the world. It was a safe place for them to go to have fun.
And now too much almost politics comes into it.
People are trying to
controversy.
I would say forget about the politics. There's too much preaching. People trying to tell you what you should feel on both sides. I don't think I'm like, just entertain people. The first Avenger films were great because they were fun, and then they stopped being fun, in my opinion. There are some great, like, I love some of these actions. Like, the reason Megan was just great, in my opinion, was it was just a fun time, and people died. It was just, I like that type of stuff. I know you might be going, well, that's awful. You shouldn't watch horror films. That people shouldn't have to die. Well, that's cool. That you watch whatever you want to watch. I think it's fun.
In war movies and everything else.
Right. Yeah. I think it's fun. And the way people died was great and gory and amazing. And it made me laugh. And it just,
but that's what that's for. It's a horror show.
It's what it's for. And I truly enjoyed it. And they didn't really go deep into that. There was one or two things, but overall, 99% of it was just someone having fun. And I appreciate that storytelling. And I would encourage other people. And we want to do that. We want to just tell fun stories. We want to have people forget about their worries for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and just enjoy. That's all I want to do. But that's me.
Yeah. So tell us what you think about what stories you like, what movies you like, and the entertainment that you're looking for.
Are you a streamer only? Do you not go to the theaters like we talked about? Or Are you one of the diehard fans that love going to the movies?
Speaking of Die Hard, it's one of the best Christmas movies ever. Sorry, I just had to throw it in
Oh, is it a Christmas movie? We're going to have people asking about that. So make sure you like this because you want to find out what's going to happen in the comments. Tag that friend who's going to disagree with you because we want all those comments. We crave them. We want to see carnage. And until next time, we are
The Average White Guys.